Hey, I don't think we should have a toilet break during the show. Let's try and hold on for dear life. I mean, there's different levels of needed, but if you can hold on, I think let's try and hold on, you know. Ah, that's cool. Scheduled for now. Mate, there's free watching. What is this music? Hang on, I'm not happy with this bit. Edit this. There we go. Now I'm live. I can hear myself. You could have said, man. Yeah, it's working, man. It's all good. Is that a YouTube? Share the screen. Share the screen, man. You'd be pleased to know that I reset all my charts and stuff.
Okay, good. All right, here we go. All right, and good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Forex Trading Lounge. Today is Thursday, the 4th of Feb, 2021. I'm your host, Christopher Guzman. This is my co-host, Rich Hooper. Rich, good morning, mate.
Hi there. Morning. Hey, the devil.
What do you got to do?
Oh, God. Is this going to happen every day?
It's possible. There's a strong possibility.
There's an unfulfilled 32.
Don't listen. We'll get to it in a minute. First things first. Priorities here, mate.
Happy Thursday,
Happy
everyone.
Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
I hate you so much.
It's been a pretty good week so far, mate. How about you? How's your week been?
For trading, it's been awesome. In general, positive all round.
Nice.
Nothing to complain about. Getting the car sorted.
Did you get the car sorted?
Well, it's getting sorted.
What's
4
that,
new
Suzu?
tires and a Susie, man. 4 new tires and a whole new set of brake pads.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I figured we'd start this morning with a quick fun fact. Did you know?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. Let me share something with you.
So I'm actually there's just a trade lining up. There's two, mate. I'm just
I'm in quite a bit of crossbar. We're going to jump right into it in a minute, but just want to share
listening
a
though.
quick fact with you.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing a thing.
If the human population held hands around the equator, a significant portion of them would drown. No, too early. Too early. All right, we'll
Do you know
try
what? I
that again
like
later.
that. I like that. I do like that, to be fair. And it's a fact.
It is a fact.
I don't dispute that. That's factual. Unless, right, some serious thought went into some kind of flotation device, right, to accommodate the chain.
Yeah, now you're just overthinking it, mate.
Well, it's possible, man. Saving lives.
All right, give me 1 second here because I'm getting a notice that I need to make an adjustment on one of the settings here. So bear with us, folks. We're new to this whole YouTube live stuff, aren't we, Rich?
Um,
We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get there in the end. Just got to change something here. All right.
okay.
Okay. All right. So that should be good now. Just to verify, you can hear me okay, Rich, can't you?
Yeah,
And
it's all
and
good.
you can see my screen. And for
If you've
those of
got the
you,
music on, I can't hear it.
no, I've turned the music off for now. I figure we'll get things going. Um, it comes in rather loud, the music. I have to figure out. Got to talk to Kieran later and figure out how to mess about with the levels. I don't know how to do that. So, in any event, um, let's jump right in. So, pound dollar, you can see it right on the screen there. I was actually a little while ago. I was trying to record this. Just the footage of the candle actually coming down and hitting my target.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I gave up because we got too close to showtime, and so needed to switch things over, and then missed it because during the setup process, it actually did come down and hit my target. So this is the second pound trade of the week, and we are now 2 for 2 on pound dollar for this week. The first one, we were back up at resistance inside of this range. We saw a beautiful selling opportunity to come back down to support. We did. We then saw the market rally, and then it cut the rally was kind of cut short there, and we saw a very good sign of that. And then as soon as the counter trend line break occurred, it was pretty clear that this is going to make a move to the downside. Now, it's not clear the move to the downside on the 15-minute time frame. So why we're having the downward move. So you have to go up to the larger time frame, right? And so when we go up to the 2 hour, okay, what we can see on the pound dollar is exactly one of the fundamental principles I teach you inside of the Ultimate Forex Trading course, which is anytime the market breaks one trend line, it tends to make its way to the next available one, right? And so that's exactly what this now appears to be doing. We were inside this range for a while. I actually took advantage of this range quite a bit. I think I can't remember the exact number of trades I placed in here, but basically just played the entire range, right? Sold resistance, bought support, sold resistance, bought support. Now we've broken out, obviously. So what was support is now resistance, which is why on the 15-minute you see that support line, which was green, obviously to keep things color coded. I've now changed that to red because that is now resistance, no longer support, right? And that range, if anything, the market is likely, actually, it's quite likely to come back and test not just the bottom of the range, but the backside of this downtrend line as well, right? And so, I should anticipate a rally now on this, to this region in here for the test. And really, I'm not particularly interested in doing anything with this until that test is over, right? So I'm not looking to buy here to take the move up, though I potentially could. I just don't think there's that much room in it for me. I'm more interested in the move to the downside toward that secondary trend line, and in place of that, right? So because obviously that's the projection, but if things shape out differently, then in place of that, what I want to see is after the test is completed, if that test pushes us back inside the boundary, then guess what? I'm back to playing boundary again. You know what I mean? Buying support, selling resistance. And then once we break out, because don't forget long term on cable, I am very bullish, right? I'm going all the way. You can see I'm bullish to 44.70, even beyond that. 46. I had a target 46.85, I think it was. But basically, I'm chasing after a daily unfulfilled 38.2%, right? So following the B fade methodology, where the impulse is over, the impulse of the current wave is over. Now we're pulling back, in search of that deeper retracement. So, long term, I am very bullish on this, but in the short term, I'm very bearish on this, right? And until until we break above the range, which on the daily time frame, by the way, you can see it as well, right? Here it is. Okay, that's the range right there, and you see how we've broken out to the bottom here. See, so if anything, to resume my bullishness, my long-term bullishness, I would need to see this come back into the range and break above, and then
Yep.
I'd start to change the outlook again, going long.
Bullishness. Is that a word?
It is a word.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
It is definitely a word. If it's not, I've just made it one.
It is now a word.
So I'm really happy with that, mate. That was a really nice trade there. You can see overnight, I say overnight, really, throughout the afternoon.
It messed around a lot.
It messed around a lot, and we were even messaging each other back and forth, folks. Rich and I were messaging each other back and forth, saying, this dollar really needs to cut the crap, because it was a little bit all over the place. The dollar was throwing it around a little bit, but cooler heads prevailed, technicals prevailed, and it went exactly as we expected. So I'm quite happy with that one. Next up, Euro US dollar. Now, Euro US dollar, there's something interesting going on here. Also had some success with the Euro US dollar from, I just closed out of that position yesterday. That was a position taken 2 days ago, where we took a sell there. That fulfilled yesterday. Haven't taken another position since, but I am actually now in a new position as of this morning, and I'll talk about that. I'm going to show you. Let me just get organized here. Right. So on the Euro US dollar, here we are on our daily time frame. Again, long term here, we have an unfulfilled 38.2% to the upside, right? It's long term because obviously I'm looking at the daily time frame, right? And that's obviously a long ways away. 25.55 is a long ways away. Nevertheless, that is still the target ultimately, until the market, until and unless the market tells me otherwise, right? But for now, what we can see happen here is the trend has hit a bit of a wall, right? Trends come crashing face first right into a wall and is now falling back, right? And so, we can't ignore that. We have to pay attention to that. And realistically, that makes this high absolutely pivotal, 23.49. So it's 23.50, which is actually a level that I've been tracking on euro dollar for a little while. So it's proven to be still a strong level. As long as we remain below, and as long as we have now broken this secondary trend line, because look at, we've broken the first one, and I teach you inside the course, right, that whenever we break one, the market makes its way to the next available. We've done that now, and you can see, if we get in a bit closer, you can even see how there was a bit of price rejection there. So this did hold as support temporarily. Can you see that? Did hold as support temporarily. And on the smaller time frames, there's plenty of traders who would have found plenty of buying opportunities in that little move right there, right? But ultimately, support failed. The trend line has failed. It is now broken, right? So what does that mean? Well, it means that there's even further room now to the next trend line, right? And this could continue. This could really carry on. 23.50 could be, a really solid top, and we're just looking at couple weeks, couple months of downward movement now in euro dollar. That's a possibility. That's certainly a possibility. In fact, a probability at this point because it's broken that trend line. Had support held here, and had we gotten a different candle closing at that trend line, then I'd be singing a different tune, right? But for now, we've broken, so it's sell, baby, sell in the medium term, right?
Mm.
In the short term, we've just broken a trend line. So if we get a major trend line as well, a daily trend line. So if we get a pullback here, well, that's not at all surprising, is it? Or at least it shouldn't be, right? Because we know anytime we get a break, there's a test. Anytime we get a candlestick formation, there's a test, right?
Mm-hmm.
In here, what's positive though, and what I've actually traded this morning, I've actually placed the trade off the 2-hour time frame. And what's positive and what's triggered my trade this morning is the fact that we have a counter trend line break. That's strategy 4, isn't it? So counter trend line break, that triggers a strategy 4 entry. And then we also have a candlestick formation. Rich, what candlestick formation do we have, mate?
Where exactly?
Sorry, I thought it did. I need more coffee. That one.
The old well, there's bearish engulfing, but evening star.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So there's a couple of things going on. Together, it's
Obviously
all an evening star, right?
5 bearish candles in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And that's on a 2-hour time frame. So that's for the last 10 hours, Euro's been selling. Together, all those candles together does absolutely comprise an evening star. You're absolutely right. Let's just have a quick look at the actual makeup though, right? So you have an engulfing bull followed by an indecisive bullish candle, right? So we consider that a doji. You could technically consider that a hammer, but I'd want to see the body a little bit smaller than that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, there's a little bit too much body on that for me to class that as a hammer. So we'll just general doji on that one, right? The very next one though comes back and doesn't quite engulf the previous one, but it certainly equals the open. Can you see that? Certainly comes back and equals the open. So what is that, Rich? When we have that, what candlestick formation is that?
I can't remember.
That's a dark cloud cover, mate. It's a dark cloud cover. It's the counter to the piercing line, right? So piercing line, let's do a quick little
Do you not need a larger body on it?
Say again?
Do you not need a larger body on it?
No, watch this. So a piercing line, right, is when you have a bearish candle like so. Let's just say, right, let's just, for argument's sake, that's a bearish candle, okay? And then we get a bullish candle that comes back and at least equals the opening price of the previous candle, right? So if this is a bearish candle, then the open price is going to be up top, isn't it? Right? This is the open, this is the close. But if it's a bullish candle, then the opposite is true. This is the open, right? And this is the close. See that? So a piercing line is when the bullish candle that comes after this bearish candle here closes at the open, or at least beyond 60% of the previous candle, right? That's what gives us a piercing line. The counterpart to that, the bearish counterpart, is a dark cloud cover. So called because it's, think of like when you see a dark cloud, it's about to rain, right? So when you see a dark cloud in the market, it's about to rain, baby.
Very convenient.
That's it. So that is a dark cloud cover. And then again, all together, combine all of that together, and that does make an evening star. So you're absolutely right. And that is what I'm trading this morning. My entry was at, I wanted to get in at 12008. I missed it by 2 pips. So I got in, not even, it's 1.1 pips I missed it by. 20069 was my actual entry on this. I've got a stop at 2058, and I'm just going 1 to 1.5 triple R. So let me go ahead and outline this. So my entry 1.20069, taking profit at 1.1933, and looking at 1.2058 for a stop loss. Okay, so this is a combination. This is strategy one, which is candlestick scalping, right? So I've literally found a candlestick, a solid candlestick formation, and I'm trading it. A couple of candlestick formations, really. There's plenty of justification there, right? This is a strategy four because it's broken the counter trend line, right? If the trend is down, which it is, in this short term that we're looking at here, right? The trend is down. So a counter trend would be an uptrend line, right? And so we get the uptrend line and we get the break. So that's reason number two. And then reason number three is we have the cross. Even though this is happening in the buy zone on the MACD, there's still some room on the stochastic, indicating that there's still some room for this to fall. How much room remains a question, but I'll just have to see. But I'm in this, and I'm chasing this back. I mean, there's actually, on euro dollar in particular, I'm chasing this unfulfilled 38.2% at 17.55. So at this point, like I say, I'm very bearish on this until either that happens or the market turns around and takes out 123.50 instead, right? So
yeah, I got for me 1975 is.
Let's do it. Let me put these in. 1975, yeah. What's that support?
That's support.
Yeah, I agree. I can see that. I agree with it.
What
My next level though would be
where's your target?
1933.
Yeah, my next one is 1940. 1975, 1940. To be fair, if the market can stay below this 2050 and we get a sustained break below the 2008 on the euro dollar, I can see it making its way down to the 1870 area.
Yeah, I agree. I see this, and you know me. I like to go even longer term than that. I like to make even bigger projections than that. I see this all the way to 1755, and I'm calling it. I've been calling it. I've been calling it. As a matter of fact, when did I call? I called it from up here, didn't I? This was when we first started discussing this. Once that first trend line got broken, so I said, right, okay, that means
Yeah,
that
because
this
you
is
did your
probably
fresh top
chasing
down,
this
didn't
3
you?
at 2.
Okay.
So far the market's not given any indication, that's likely to change anytime soon.
I like it, mate. I'm actually, I know you're in. I tend to prefer pullbacks and continuations. I've got a sell limit order at 2023.
Oh yeah, at what price?
2023. Whether it comes back that far, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Go on, mate, I'm listening. What price?
2023. But that will change. It will slowly fall depending on how the market continues to move, to be honest. But I'm hoping for a pullback and then a continuation towards those targets that we were talking about.
Okay, so I kicked my speakers off. Can you repeat that, please?
Can you hear me?
No idea what you just said.
Nah.
Not a clue. Yeah, I need to.
What you doing?
I need to work on the. I'm getting all tangled up in wires, mate.
It's like a drum set.
I've got all these wires by my feet. I need to fix this.
Nah, I'm waiting for a pullback. I know you're in with your stop order. I'm waiting for a pullback for 2023.
Yeah.
Yup, limit order. But obviously my stops and take profits are a little bit different to yours. 15 for 15 and all that.
Well, yeah.
But it was beautiful yesterday, man.
Absolutely.
3 4 to 1s. You know, it actually bounced off the 1 hour yesterday 4 times and went for 15 every time. That's crazy. I don't really normally mess around with second, third, fourth bites, but it did it.
I know. Yeah.
It held.
Yesterday was crazy, wasn't it? Yesterday was
Uh,
fantastic.
but yeah, Eurodollar, mate, I agree. I'm hoping for a pullback though, at least to the 2011.
Yeah, I agree that we'll get a pullback certainly. One of the reasons for that is because again we're now gonna drill down. So we were on the daily, then the 2 hour, and now on the 15 minute. This is what you and I were discussing yesterday, isn't it? Where I was targeting this this was yesterday's trade. This was what fulfilled yesterday. Um, and I said I'm still bearish on this. I'm actually going all the way to 2001 because that is my anticipated 144D extension, right? Look,
Mm.
look at that. I mean, can't make it up, man. Look at this. Look at this. What's the low? So the I was targeting 2001. This came down to 1992. This gives 9 pips. I was off by 9 pips as to where that low was going to form.
So proud of yourself, aren't you?
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the 2011 level or 2010 2008. To be honest, obviously the market opened um last night, this morning at 2041, and following on from yesterday, I've actually got my market cap the bottom at 2008. Like I have that, and it's already broke beyond it.
Yeah, 2008.
So
Yeah,
I'm planning a. I've got my limit set for 2023, which would be a 60-minute continuation of the trend on a pullback. But I'm thinking about a half risk scaling at 2008.
you're wanting it to come back to 2008.
Yeah, mm, that's what I'm thinking, man. I don't know if it will though.
It's possible. There's a lot of downward pressure on euro right now, though. A lot of downward pressure this morning. Look at all the euros. Look at Euro
Euro
Aussie.
Aussies just broke out into a 15 and a 5 minute breakout short.
Mm, see, told you.
Um,
Euro
yeah.
Kiwi. I mean, it's we're looking at sells across the board on the euro, man. Wow, look at Euro CAD. Woo!
Mm,
This needs
it's
cleaning up.
crazy.
This is all over the friggin' place. But look at that. So we're still in this
Yeah,
down
today.
AB boundary. Got less than a 382. So I'm actually bearish on this down to 5203 on Euro CAD, which means there's 120 some odd pips available to the downside potentially. 5203, 52039.
Oh,
Yeah, that's looking really nice. What I would like to see though is this is a situation where the train has left the station, right?
yeah.
This was the train right here. This is the
Oh,
station right
wow.
here. Right?
Okay.
This was the train station right here. Train's gone,
Mm.
mate. Train's gone. We gotta wait for the next one. I say it all the time. You're probably sick of hearing me say it, Rich, but for the benefit of the viewers, it's like trying to catch a falling knife. You never want to try to catch a falling knife.
Might start putting a bet on with some of the viewers. I might just start communicating with them private and say,
You're gonna
you know,
create
a
drinking
tenner.
games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Take all the criticisms and make drinking games.
Yeah, man. If any alcoholics watching and you want to change your life for the better, you can learn to trade and take 2 sips of vodka every time.
That just sounds like a hot mess, man. That does
I
not sound
reckon
like a good
get
time
some
at all.
interesting trades. Interesting trade. Have you ever traded drunk?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever traded drunk?
Traded drunk?
Yeah.
No,
Have you ever stuck the trade on
no, never.
under the influence?
I've closed out of positions drunk
Ah.
and really regretted it the next day.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I closed out because it looked like it was going to pull back more than it did. Well, it didn't, but because I was inebriated, I perceived it as pulling back further than it actually
Fear.
did. So I got scared
Level 10
and
fear.
closed out. Yeah, and yeah, the next day it shot to the moon. So that
That's
that was
crazy.
the one and only time I ever did that under the influence with trading, and I've never done it since. Never will. Don't drive under the influence. Don't trade under the influence.
As if I've never asked you that, actually. Should be the first question you ask a trader. Nice meeting you, mate, but have you ever traded drunk?
I'd love to work with you, but I need to know this first.
Yeah. Dolly Yen looks nice.
Dollar yen is beautiful, man. So this was another trade from yesterday, folks. Actually, did we get? Was this yesterday or 2 days ago? No, this
Yesterday,
was
you
no,
should
mate. I've
be
been
in
in this
that
for two
still.
days.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just looking at the broker now. I got in on the second, so 2 days ago. Um, back here. This was my entry back here. So I
Was
got
it?
in buying 105.02. The market created this flagpole
Ah,
pennant. This is what we were
we was checking
discussing
it out
yesterday
yesterday. Yeah,
because we
I remember.
were as we already said, the dollar was all over the place at certain points yesterday. One of those points being during our show, and so we were discussing it, and I said even though it's all over the place, the formation that's there gives me confidence in the trade. The formation, of course, is a flagpole pennant, right? Markets making lower highs, higher lows simultaneously. Basically, just picture it as like the market squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, building up the pressure to then carry on again. That's essentially what a flagpole pennant is, right? It's technically a 50-50 indicator, meaning the technical definition, if we're sticking strictly to the book, will tell you that it's just 50-50, straight up 50-50. It can go either way. But I can tell you with 10 years under my belt, every time I've seen a flagpole, but not every time, most of the time I've seen a flagpole pennant appear, it breaks out. It usually goes in the direction it was headed before it formed anyway, right? And here again, add this to the tally. This thing hasn't failed me. This is looking really good. As far as trade management is concerned, I've already trade managed on this yesterday, and unfortunately, the market's not really giving me another opportunity that's ideal. It's giving me a new opportunity to trade manage, but not one that's ideal. Reason I say that is because I like to go off of the previous two lows when we're buying, right?
Mm,
So rather than going off of this low and putting the stop here and not giving the market enough room to potentially, I like to go off of this low, which is exactly where the stop is currently.
which is way more
It's
anyway.
10
Yeah.
pips off of that low. Um, I could, like I said, I could move the stop to 10 pips below this low. I don't want to do that though. It violates my rules. An alternative, though, a happy compromise, would be to set a line, whether a horizontal ray or just a horizontal line, whatever. I can set a line right at that low though, and then 10 pips below it, right? So if that's 105.15 or 14, 14, yeah, 14. So 105.14, and then what I'll do is I'll set an alert on this, so that as we cross down on this line on dollar yen, it'll notify me on the app and show the pop up. And what I'm going to say here is consider scaling out. Right. So what that's going to do. So I'm not actually moving my physical stop loss anywhere. I'm leaving it as is, which, you know, I still have risk on the table. Um, and some might look at what I'm doing there and think, well, hang on, you've got some profit on the table. Why not just take off now? Yeah, I mean, it's a fair assessment. It's just not my style, right? It's just not how I roll. I think that's going to the target. I don't see anything blocking it getting to that target. Um, and so I'm prepared to keep that risk on uh, for the sake of giving the market enough room to get to that target, right? Um, However, what I am going to do and what I've just done is put an alert on this trend on this horizontal line here, so that if the market comes down and breaks this and closes below it, then I know, okay, I'll consider taking half the position off at least. You know what I mean? Um, so that this way it's a happy medium. I don't want to um, do anything further than that at this stage though, because again, it violates my rules. It's not how I trade. You have to, once you develop these rules, mate, you have to stick to it, you know, no
Mm.
matter what. Like, that's what sets good traders apart from the rest, you know?
Well, they're rules that, you know, if if they've been proven to work and increase the profit margin, then you got to stick to them.
Mm,
Um, Strategies come with rules. Whether the traders apply them or not is another conversation. And then a trader will develop their own principles and rules as they develop their strategies and learn to trade and trade themselves,
absolutely.
which may deviate slightly based on experience from the initial or original strategy taught or learnt. Um, you got a few little rules, haven't you?
I do. That's what 10 years will do to you, though, mate. You'll develop rules over time. You know, the more you do this, the more you see things. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. That's the difference having a mentor makes, really, when you're learning to trade, because you know market theory is one thing, and it's important. You have to learn the basics. You have to understand all the concepts. You have to, right? It's part of it. But that's only the first step. That's only the first step. You then need to go and get yourself exposed to these markets and just be in it, and preferably in a setting like this where you've got guys who've got experience, who can guide you. You know what I mean? Who can explain, this is why this is happening. This is why you're seeing this. You know what I mean? Um, because while for a new trader, they may be looking at as a new trader, you may be looking at something for the first time. Guaranteed, between Rich and I, we've probably seen it like 3,000 times, maybe more, right? So that's the difference that can make, and that's the difference experience makes. And yes, you do develop your own rules and that just through observation and time, but these are some of the things I've found to be tried and true. So dollar yen, I'm quite happy with that. Again, nothing to be done there really. So next up is dollar CAD. Unless, do you have anything you want to say on dollar yen, mate, before we go on?
Not exactly. I have a pullback limit order waiting.
You do.
That would satisfy the criteria of my strat. We've got a breakout of that range. We've got a new high. It did actually attempt to pull back there. Didn't quite make it back to the 0.8.
Mm.
I see 0.8 as being the last line of the strongest level within that. But it looks good, man. We've just got a new high now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just taking
And
us
there's
out
clear
now.
roads here. There's clear roads here.
Absolutely, man. No, this has been
Yeah, it's
a
good.
good week. It's a good first week for Forex Trading Lounge, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's
Very
been
good.
perfect to be fair.
Now,
What's
look at
that?
this
Is
dollar
that a
CAD.
CAD?
Dollar CAD. I told you, Rich, when I first started learning to trade, my mentor at the time told me, one of the biggest things I can teach you is in order to trade, in order to be a trader, you need to have big balls, right? Proverbial balls, obviously, for any women who watch, not physical balls. You need to have proverbial balls, right? Um,
Metaphysical cojones.
you, you need to have proverbial cojones of steel,
Ugh.
right? Because the fact of the matter is the market waves, man, all the time. It never goes in a straight line ever. And so, you know, the thing is, once you get into a trade, to expect that you're just always going to be in profit on that trade and you're never ever going to see red on that trade is naive, right? Especially when you consider the fact that you have to take the spread into account. So just from go, you're going to be red, right? Um, so, that's why you measure the risk. That's why you bother with risk management techniques. If you're not willing to risk it, don't friggin' risk it. Don't trade it, right?
Mm.
Simple. This is a prime example of that. I got in back here. Dollar CAD. This was from yesterday, so I got in back here. My stop was further down. I've trade managed on this obviously because you can see my trades usually start as a 1 to 1.5 triple R reward risk to reward ratio. But you can see we're sitting at 1 to 2.29 at this point. So you can see I'm trade managing on this. And you can see my method of the two lows. You see that?
Mm.
Because the market still needs room to wave. Look at that. Market still needs room to wave. I still have confidence in this. There's no reason for me to change anything I'm doing here on this one, you know. And now I'm positive again, so that's helpful.
Just need a bit of a new high.
Yeah,
Break past that mountain top there.
that's exactly right. Well, it's a bit of a
What level's
cluster as
that?
well.
What level's that?
That's
2808.
2808. So I would go up, mate. I would say 2810. I would round up to 2810.
Well, as you know, I don't really look at the dollar CAD, so other than looking at what I'm looking at,
Be interested to see how it interacts with 2810 there, but I'm calling
yeah.
2810 as the level, definitely. That's the level to beat. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna set an alert on this as well.
What's this? You got 2713 down there with a 2789 orange stop. Looks like you've got two entries.
Yeah.
What's going on,
Let
man?
me see. Major. Okay. This one here. 2713. That was an older one. That was an older target. I got to get rid of that. Actually, it's old.
Yeah,
It's not in there
confusing the
anymore.
viewers.
Listen.
Well, it's the thing is when the students on the course, they'll be coming back to these and they'll be looking at that and they'll be like, what's going on? We buying something, or at least what was the obviously can I ever go up or down? What was your? Can you remember how old was that?
mm,
Can't remember. Doesn't matter.
I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
remember. 27. It wouldn't have been that old. 2713. It was. It's probably that 382.
Okay.
10 pip. Because I go 10 pips in front, so that's less. That's what is that? 7 pips in front. Yeah, but it would have been it would have been highlighting a play back to that 382, which actually already occurred. It actually came back to the 5-0 in this case. So my ultimate target on this is 2896, which is the 1.618, and then we have an unfulfilled. So
Mm.
these are subs that we're looking at here on this 15 minute. The capital fibs are pointing even further bullish than that. 2957 is my deepest point of retracement in the current down AB so far, which means, of course, if that's a 23.6, then of course that means I've got an unfulfilled 38.2%, which is sitting at 2987. So I'm actually bullish on this to 2987, though my target is significantly, I'm down here at 2838 because I'm that's the move overall, and then I'm going to take individual trades inside of that move, right?
Mm.
So yeah, I still have confidence in this. I don't have any and there's nothing I can do really to trade manage anything further than what I've already done. So nothing else here. Aussie dollar,
Just
dollar, 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 dollar.
just to one last comment on that dollar yen. The pound yen at the 14278 level is at it's at quite a strong support level on the pound yen.
Yeah.
So yen might gain some strength here.
Hmm.
Sorry, pound might gain
Pound.
some
Yeah,
strength here.
pound would be
Sorry.
gaining.
Um, we could see dollar yen stall a little bit, I reckon. But on the pound dollar, it's relatively clear going short.
Yeah. So in the case of pound yen, I can completely see what you're saying with 142.78. I'm in agreement with that. However, I also still see plenty of room to this trend line here. We may end
Mm,
up right because this may pull back here. It may get the strength here, give the pullback, and then come down, and we'll end up
yeah.
meeting at the same point anyway, right? So the
Mm,
call will be essentially the same. The reasoning for the call is different, but the call itself will be the same, right? Um, with 142.78, yeah, I can definitely see that as a good level. The other thing here, though, to consider is that we are now inside of this, back inside of this AB boundary, and we have less than a 38.2. So I'd be very interested to see how the market interacts with this trend line. If support holds here, then great. Then I'm looking right. Um, but if not, if this manages to break through, then it's managed to break through quite a significant level of support, right?
mm.
Because at that point you have support just from support, and then you also have support from the trend line as well. You know what I mean?
Well, I do have I've got a buy waiting at 63.
At 63,
Mm,
15 for 15.
yeah,
Okay, so 63. Let's have a
that's
look.
about your trend line. Yeah, it's interesting.
Right there, yeah. Literally right there.
So
I
for
could
me,
see that.
on a short fib, that'd be a goal. To be fair, it's between 63 and 78. It's like this thick area of support where I think pound yen's gonna have trouble with because it's just completed a bit of a
Hmm.
goal.
Well, the down fibs. Take a look at this, mate.
Or
I
it's
just
there. Is that there or
10
thereabouts for
years,
you?
and this still puts a smile on my face. Look at this. This came back to
Yeah.
a 618. Where's that
So
target, man?
we use slightly different Fibonacci, didn't we? Because there's two types.
Yeah,
We use your one, which I actually prefer. Um,
me too.
and I make use of the standard one.
Yeah.
So the standard one, it's reaching. It's not there yet. That 78 level would be a bit of a goal, but I can see yours is the 7.4 level.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
And I've got to buy at 63, which may just be a little ambitious, maybe. But it is the trend as well. It is the trend line as well. So, what do you reckon about having a look at pound dollar to see how much further that looks like falling?
Let's see. So pound dollar's got plenty of room here, mate. Plenty of room. In
I
fact,
reckon 3.538.
yeah, yeah. I mean, my deepest point of retracement so far has been 34.50. So 3538 is still within that. 3538 is an 86% pullback on this sub that we're still currently in. If we manage to pull back to that point and then get a good sign of a rally, that's essentially going to have like a slingshot effect back up to resistance to the 118 there, you see?
Oh, let's have a look. I'm looking at all your little tags down the side there. It's kind of moved all the 3.5 on the fibs, yeah. 3.5,
Yes.
3.8.
Well, we're actually
Is that where
at
that is?
at the moment we're sitting at a 69.4% inside of this sub. So the target, I actually have to update this now because this has changed. The target has moved from 3809, which was the sub 1.618. I now need to move this down to the sub 144, which is 13777.
13777. Okay.
Okay, so that's my new
Okay.
target there.
So you're looking at that 3574 format.
3777.
Sorry, on the downside.
Oh, to the
On your
downside.
fib. On your fib.
Let's have a look. Let me go up to the larger time frame. Hang on. Okay, so there's that trend line on the larger time frame that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, still an uptrend overall. So I'm still, you can see there, anticipated 1.618 at 143.53, but obviously that's a ways away.
I've got a bullish fib, and my 61.8 is 3540.
3,540 right there.
Yeah. 3, 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me come in with my subs here and see where it is, compare with yours. Okay, so AB.
With Trading View, do you left click and then release, and then it retains it on the screen though?
Say that again.
When do you left click with the fib tool on Trading View, and it keeps it on the screen, and then you move to then place it where you want it next, and then you left click to let go?
Yeah, so I use a combination of hotkeys on the keyboard to speed things up, and
Right.
so like for fibs on TradingView, that's Alt F. That gives me the tool. I left click once. I don't have my hand on the mouse at all, and I can
That's
move it
good.
around freely, and then click again, and it drops it. And then I have it set so that it stays that way, so I can keep drawing as many as I want until I hit escape on the keyboard to disable it.
Like, you can't discount how useful that is.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you're getting into trading, if you're not like computer literate, or if you get a bit frustrated around using IT, it's little things like that that make life feel a little quite comfortable.
100%. 100.
It's
That's
just
actually why
small, tiny detail.
that's why I'm at. So for those of you watching, you've heard it here first, folks. I'm putting together a TradingView mastery program um, to help traders learn this stuff and get proficient. Because you're absolutely right. There's so many tools um, and so many pairs to track. Really, that organization is absolutely critical. Organization and efficiency is absolutely critical. Um, in answer to your question, mate, yeah, I can still see plenty more room to the downside in terms of support on the 2 hour. My next level of support, so I'm anticipating a pullback here. Definitely anticipating a pullback here, no question. I'd be surprised if we didn't, to be fair. That's a very, very strong dollar or very, very weak pound if that's the case. The next level of support is going to be 35.19, so 35.20, and then 34.50 after that. Those are my next two levels. And you can see either of those two levels would be enough to catch it on the trend line as well, depending on how this actually plays out, right? Because if this goes sideways for a bit and then falls, it's going to come hit this level and the trend line. That's major support right there. You see? So in the meantime, though, I mean, I'd like to say I do still see some room, but I am absolutely now starting to anticipate a pullback here. Let me clean some of this up a little bit because we don't need any of this on here anymore. This is now done. Let me get rid of
Yeah,
this.
did you leave that to take profit yesterday? Or
Yeah, that
yeah.
just took profit just before we came on the air
Okay.
this morning. Yep, literally just before we got on the air. Hey, Nechko. Great to see you. Good morning. We have
But
Nechko's with us. Rich.
really, yo, let's go.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Nechko?
Air five, man. Air five for joining the old live lounge. Where are you from, Netchko?
Are we saying your name correctly as well, by the way? I think I might have asked that the other day. I'm terrible with names, mate, so forgive me ahead of time, please.
So, what I'm thinking is, if the pound dollar can, it's pulling back just now.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Nechko says, I'm doing great. I'm losing trades this week. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that, Nechko. Nechko, he's
Unlucky
from
now.
Slovenia.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, Nechko.
Not a
Hope.
bad football team.
You mean soccer? Not a bad
Average.
soccer team.
This is gonna be terrible, man. I'm so sorry.
You decided to go into business with an American. That's
I'm
your
so
fault.
sorry, everyone. Chris, we can't be having that, man. There's no soccer here. I will defend.
Right. Let's have a look. So, Aussie dollar, 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 dollar.
Yeah, because I am at a 60-minute hour level, 7626. It wants to go long, but it's also trapped in a bit of a meh. So what do you reckon, man?
It's a big mess. So Aussie dollar, dollar, dollar stopped me out yesterday. It's one of the only
Oh,
trade.
really?
I think it was the only trade that did. Let me check.
Did
Actually,
it already? Oh, yeah, you sold it, right?
let's have a look. Yes, I did. Yeah. So the only one to stop me out. Yep, Aussie dollar,
Makes sense.
and that was. Let's see. I got in 76.13. My stop was 76.41. Oh yeah, look at that.
So,
76.41. Son of a gun. Look at this. It went 7 pips higher and then came right back down again.
mm,
But that's okay because I don't like how this looks at the moment. And I said to you yesterday, didn't I? I said if this goes against me and stops me out, initially I said it means I'm wrong, and then I corrected myself and said, well, no, not so much that I'm wrong per se, but that the market has different plans in mind, and that is to head back up to resistance inside of this downward channel, right? Because we have this bigger downward channel here. We have the smaller one here, but realistically, this is inside of the larger downward channel, and the market came right down to support here. We can see a clear, very clear rally right there from support, and now it's holding above these key levels here, including 7626. So it's been a bit of a pain in my bum, but we may potentially get a decent buying potential here, depending on what the larger time frame says. Let's have a look. Nope. Nope. No buying potential. So I actually have a pending sell on this because I'm looking to get back in, because I was looking at this earlier before we came on the air, and I've got no reason to change that outlook at the moment. Let me tell you why. It's this right here on this 2-hour time frame. Right at resistance, right? I want to just see, did this come back beyond 50%? That is gonna make or break this formation right here, right? So the high is 7637, the low 7614. Okay, so 23. halfway point of that would be 11 pips. So 7643. So 7654. 7654. It would have. Wait a minute. I did that wrong. 7643. It would be minus 11, wouldn't it? 7632 rather. Okay. Yeah. No, that's an evening star, mate. That's definitely an evening star. So right there, that evening star at resistance is what is still making me think that this has a chance to start coming down. The stochastic RSI isn't fantastic at the moment. We are actually technically sitting in no man's land. It's 54 thereabouts.
It's weird, mate.
It's not great. It's not great, but I am
the buy zone.
I'm favoring a sell here. Yeah, we are in the buy zone as well technically, but I am still favoring a sell. Which just means I'm not going to take a buy. If a sell presents itself, great, I'll take it. If a buy presents itself, I'm not interested in it because it doesn't make sense for me. You know what I mean?
So I'm just.
Nechko wants to have a look at pound yen. Yeah, so let's go back to pound yen for a minute.
Yeah, let's have a look at that because mate, it's pulling back, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get in at the 23 short.
Let's have a look. All right, I'll tell you what. This needs cleaning anyway and updating. It's gotten way out of hand, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do a quick top down.
I've got a short. I've got a bearish fib. That'll be my 61 as well. 61.8. It'll be my 1 hour level. Be a 5-minute L7. It'll be well. It's inside my stop loss for the 50 with my market cap for resistance at 3.7.
Let's have a look.
Which isn't ideal because it just would stop me anyway, but downward trend line. There's a lot going on here. To be fair, it has scored a goal though. It did score a goal. I've moved my previous fib.
Let's have a look. All right, so I've come in with we are obviously in an uptrend on this 2-hour time frame. And I'm just going to come in with the fibs now and see where we stand. And then I'll be able to give my 2 cents, as it were.
I did say though, I told you pound was going to come up from the 78. It didn't quite make 78, but
you did.
Look at that, man. Look at that, man.
Look at that.
That'd be crazy if it even goes for 30 pips, to be honest.
Say again?
See, I would normally take a 10 or a 15 pip move off the L7, but the L7 was 78, and I did have a limit order, but it didn't travel there. It traveled to 82.8. So train left the station, but it did ping.
Right, so I'm looking at this. I see a maximum 69.4% retracement, which means I'm actually going to be bullish on this all the way up to 148.61. That's the anticipated 144D extension, so I'm going to label that as well.
Is this on the wider?
This is on 2-hour, yeah.
So what's yours?
2-hour anticipated 144. The extension. It is 148.61. And the reason for that is because this has come back to the 69.4.
Yes, I've got the one. I've got 148.61.6.
Hey, there you go. Look at that. Nice one.
So that's not bad for a 0.06 out.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Well done, mate. I'm going to come in with some subs so we can drill down a bit here and get some, kind of current.
It's always interesting because we use 2 different fib styles. So I love it when it matches.
Yeah, man.
Cool, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah, nice one.
69.4, 144. Okay, so I'm just coming in here. I'm just spreading some sub fibs on this because I've got my capitals in place now, and that gives me the sense of the overall direction, right? So I've already stated I'm bullish, and I'm looking to take it to 148.61, right? Ultimately,
You,
that doesn't mean
you,
though that I'm just like gonna blindly buy it and let it go, right? Now I need to drill down further and see, the more relevant um, information to see if there's a relevant opportunity or potential opportunity, right? And
right.
so this comes back to a 50% retracement from the look of it. So I'm looking for a 1.618. Ha! The extension, which was 143.96. Rich, can you see this, mate? Can I just
Sorry,
say?
I got distracted there. Say that again.
Can I just say? So we were anticipating a high to form, an official high to form at 143.96 or better.
Okay. Well, what from that last trip there? I missed it, mate. Sorry.
From this here, look, from here,
Oh, yeah, 61.83.
even
Yeah.
from here, I'd be calling a move to 143.96. And basically,
Oh,
what we're saying with
you've
that is we're
skipped
we're
it.
looking
Right.
for um, the market to establish an official high at that level or better, right? 143.96 is the level. Can't. I mean, come on, look at that. What was the actual high after all? 143.96 was the target.
Ah,
14409.
09, yeah.
So what is that? 14 pips. Beat it by 14 pips. So I was off by 14 pips on this. Um,
Bad, bad trader.
it's a terrible analysis.
Terrible analysis, man. Hey, let me know if it's gonna rain tomorrow.
Listen, that's the kind of analysis game you want to be in. Those guys get paid whether they're wrong or right, and they're wrong most of the time.
It's just always dark cloud cover.
Well, in England it is, yeah.
Uh,
Although
so what?
yesterday was quite nice to be perfectly
Hey,
fair.
this morning was good.
This morning was nice, yeah. This morning was a
It's
nice
cool,
morning as
man.
well.
Spring's coming. The little birdies are out. I heard them. Yeah. What's your short? Have you? What's your short? You're gonna do a 15-minute um Fibbo
Yeah, we'll do that next. So
Fibolano.
I've set this up now so I can see I've got an unfulfilled 38.2. So, long term, all right? So let's establish this here, right? So, um, long term I'm bullish to 148.61, right? That's the D extension target.
Mm-hmm.
Short and medium term, right? Short term I'm bearish because we're below the B high. We're in the sell zone now as well. We cut right through that the T3 of T3s as I like to call it, putting us squarely in the sell zone. And we've got an unfulfilled 38.2. So really, I'm going to revise because I'm going to say in the medium term, I'm
Medium,
bearish.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah. In the
Big,
short term, we're getting a serious pullback, and I think we're gonna get a pullback here. I
big,
think we're
middle,
ripe for a pullback here.
little. It's not right. Big.
So short term, like short
Yes.
term, I'm
Intraday.
expecting a pullback. So expecting bullishness short term. Um, Medium term, I'm anticipating this to continue selling back to at least that 38.2. Long term, I'm bullish to 148.61 because that is my Fibonacci de-extension target.
What is scroll out, mate? I just want to compare mine with yours. 38.2 is 14130, yeah?
Yep. 141306 to be exact. I'm going to label this as well. This is my 2-hour unfulfilled.
That's crazy. I've got 141303.
What have you got?
303.
Well, you're wrong. It's going to come to 306, mate.
I need to have another lesson now.
Yeah, you got to retake the course, man.
I'm
You're gonna
prepared to
have to
pay
go
again.
back to square one.
I'll pay again.
Let me go down to the 15-minute. Look at Aussie dollar, just for a second before I continue with that. Look at this. It's just all over the place, mate. But
There's some decent spikes though.
resistance is holding.
There's a
Resistance is
nice little
holding.
football boot forming, Matt.
You mean a soccer cleat?
A what?
Soccer cleat. So the pound is actually giving some pretty good opportunity, some pretty good pullback opportunity. It appears across the board. It's been very
Yes.
weak all morning, overnight and into this morning. Very weak. And so now we're getting what appears to be just a natural pullback, naturally occurring pullback, which of course means that I may potentially have some additional selling opportunities here shortly, depending on the outcome of this analysis I'm about to do on the 15-minute time frame.
Yeah, what do you run the fib on the 15-minute?
Absolutely.
Let's have a look, mate.
Absolutely. So that's my high there. That's my low, clearly in an uptrend. And it clearly starts there. That's my starting point. So I've got this trend line, which is probably going to be largely pointless. I'm going to throw it in here anyway, though.
I do like that trading view does that.
What's that?
The old clickety click.
Oh, Trading View is fantastic, man. I swear by Trading View. I can't live without Trading View. Best charts out there. We are not paid or anything by Trading View, by the way, folks. That is an honest review.
We're not paid by them, but we do get 100% commission.
That would be nice.
Uh,
We are actually an affiliate, but I don't know how the affiliate link works, so I need to fix that. So anyone thinking of getting Trading View, just hold off. Give us a couple days. Let us fix our link first.
It is good.
No, it is fantastic. It
In
really
fact,
is.
to be honest, it's perfect for your style of planning and analysis. I think it's the fastest. If you can get the hang of how to manipulate the tool, I think it's the fastest way to pull what you do off.
Absolutely.
Having had a play with it, but
no question.
I'm lucky because I combined the two with CTrader. I got that little tool, didn't I? Little CTrader bot, mate. Converted it into Trading View.
I need to see that.
To be honest, it's not that. It's okay, but the tools are limited.
Well,
So
yeah,
I can quickly run a top down on it, but to be honest, because I trade with you every day in the morning, I just run my style on my side for speed, and then I compare it with yours.
Yeah. Well, but
I don't know how to do it.
To be honest, that's ideal though, because I'm quick and efficient with my style on my platform, and you are on yours. So it just means that we can combine the two styles seamlessly. You know what I mean?
Added confidence for our viewers, Matt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what you're gonna do here now.
Yeah. So there's room back to this 382 on the 15-minute as well. It's 142.24 is the level. 120. Excuse me. 142.243. 142.243.
Wait there a moment, Matt.
What'd you say?
Yeah, right there. I'm just looking at your levels here. So you've dragged that from.
This is the all right. So the fibs are from
December.
Here.
28th of December. Okay, yeah.
From the 11th of December. Second fib is from the 21st of December. You can see that first fib impulse, pull back to the 86, continuation to the 118 right there.
86 to the 118. Okay, yeah.
And then impulse, pull back to the 382, continuation to the 1.618.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is room, like I say, there is room to the downside here to that unfulfilled 38.2% at 142.24. Decent room. We have just had this pullback, which is again a totally natural pullback. Let me go back to the larger time frame for a second. I just want to see something.
Right, okay. Interesting. Oh, you're
14130.
on the 2 hour still. 15 minute, yeah.
Yeah, I'm toggling back and forth.
So will you run a short fib here? Or will you just leave it at that? From the top.
Hang on a
You
sec.
never do that, do you?
Hang on one sec. 14130. Right, that. Okay, so that 14130 that I've just put there, that is the 2 hour unfulfilled 38.2. So the 15-minute has got an unfulfilled 38.2 at 142.24, but the 2 hour is putting it at 141.30, which indicates even further downside room. Obviously, though, the big thing here, the sort of the elephant in the room, is the trend line, right? None of those levels get achieved with that trend line still being in the way.
Because that's your big one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Right.
that's the main one. As far as opportunities
Okay.
here, I can come in with some subs because we do have enough data here to create the subs. And I can see, you can see, you can actually see this is a crown right here. This is a beautiful example, actually. There we go, of a textbook King's Crown formation. Whoops. See that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a crown right there, mate. That's a sub crown. Like that's if I had
That's a
if
great
I had
one.
to write if I was writing a textbook and I was looking for an image to describe a crown, that would be it. That's beautiful. It's textbook.
Well,
Um,
on my side, mate, just to sort of confirm two things,
yeah,
my 61.8 for my bullish fib larger is 14130, and then I've got a heavy, like a strong level of support at 142.26, and I'm expecting this to at least go to 14263. Where's 63 for you? Is that your trend line?
6.3 is the trend line.
Uh,
2.4 is my 3.82. So what did you say? 2.6 as a major
26,
support level.
as a, I mean, looking
That's
at the
funny,
the
man.
Langle, because I swapped from the 15, because you use 2 hour, I use 1 hour. I tried to look for swap zones.
Yeah.
Um, they call them institutional level swap zones, but you know, I don't ring anybody up to confirm that. But 142.26 is a significant level, yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And that is my sub. Well, it's not the sub D extension yet because we haven't pulled back to the 382 just yet. And we're actually already getting resistance off of that trend line there. So, first of all, as far as why did pound yen pull back the way it did, it's a very simple answer to that. It fulfilled the 1.618 sub D extension from the crown, right? This is my crown. This is A, B. This is my Fibonacci's, right? A, B.
Mm,
We came back to a 50% retracement level in the
50.
crown, which means from this point here, from 143.77, I would have been saying that I'm anticipating that the market is going to sell off down to the 1.618, which is at 142.84, and give me an official low there or better. The market fell to 142.84 exactly. I think I was a fraction of a pip off this time. And gave the official low. So that's why we had the pullback. It's a
142.94.
normal part of the market's naturally occurring wave cycles. We fulfilled the de-extension pullback was imminent at that point. Okay, we're still in the sell zone. Although I don't think this pullback is over. I think there's still some room here for this to continue. I think what this is going to do is it's going to try to come back and chase these lows in here, which if we do, that should be enough of a spike to give me at least a 38.2%. Now, that's an ideal situation if that happens. And right in here, what I'm going to do is set this up as my sell zone in here, right? So this is kind of like my ideal sell zone right in here.
I'll have a sell lining up for the 14323, mate.
I think that's a great price point to be set at for that. I do. I think that's a great price point.
Okay.
In fact, I might join you.
Okay, guys. Come on, Nichko. Let's sort those fucking losses out for this week. Right, where am I?
Although, disclaimer, now that you, thanks, Rich, I got to do the disclaimer now. We are not trade advisors. This is for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only. We're not telling you what to do with your own accounts or your own trading. We're just showing you, quite literally showing you what we're doing with ours. Okay, now that that's
you
over.
got a demo.
Thanks, Rich.
Losses can exceed your initial investment.
Yes. Right, in here, that's a morning star. But it's a fake one. I'm pretty sure it's a fake one. I don't see that sustaining. Okay, so in terms of how's pound yen looking, what's the game plan? I think it's pretty clear by now. I think there's more room for this to rally, but I'm ultimately bearish on this. Rich has got an order set up at 143.23 going short, 15 for 15, so that would place your stop at 38, wouldn't it, mate? And you'd take profit. Hang on, this is math. At 0. 8, right? Yeah. 143.08, right?
Yeah, but I see that 78 being the beast it's got to beat.
Which one? Which level?
14278. It would have to beat that for me to be confident it's going to continue south.
14278. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you want to see it beat that to
so
continue
obviously
downward.
It's a 1-for-1. Like I always normally do. To be fair, I take half and then I move stop.
Nezco heard our disclaimers and said, "Tell me when to buy." We're like,
so there's quite a decent level though at 14312. As in, if you look at the previous data, that 14312 level, can you see that's a swap zone area if you zoom out?
It is reacting, yeah. Hang on, let me just do this first, and then.
To be fair, it's already bounced off and it's coming back short.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know whether that could be the new top. You know, in the very short term, it could be.
It's possible. One thing you have to be super careful about here, though. So I'll tell you this much: I'm not doing anything at all for at least the next 5 minutes because we're coming up for the close of the 2-hour candle. So there's bound to be a ton of volatility in the next 5 minutes, and with it, though, we should also get a better sense of what's likely to happen next with pound yen. Right now, on this 2-hour time frame, that stochastic RSI is almost completely oversold. I mean, the number is 4.3. Buy zone starts at 25. So we're 21 points into the buy zone. The MACD is also in the buy zone, which is not ideal for a sell. Let me have a look at the daily time frame.
Finds strength and it makes its way up to the 23. Arguably, like I'm trading off the 37. I'll be selling from 37.
See, the saving grace here is that we have been on a rally for quite some time, and this looks pretty friggin' ripe to pull back. I've got 144.40. I was tracking.
What's that level there? See that last spike?
Say again.
See that previous spike there and that previous high, quite
This one,
significant high there. Yeah, what price is that? 79.
79.
Ooh. Okay.
No, hang on. 71. That's 71.
Mm, okay.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. I think there's still room for this to rally, mate. I really do.
I
I
only
think
need
this is still
15
going to pop
pips and it's
a
it's
bit
shaping
further.
up at the moment. It's
Say
shaping
again?
up at the moment, mate. Oh, go on then. What we got going?
Yeah, I think.
Euro Aussie and Euro dollar just opened up two shorts.
Now, look at that. Doesn't surprise me because look at pound Aussie as well. Breaking the counter trend line. We got an unfulfilled. Problem is we're not that far off. I mean, 78.04. I've not got that much room left on this really, and then I'm anticipating a buy potentially. See about pound kiwi. 88.40. Yeah, it's about 25 pips to the downside on pound kiwi. There is, I'll tell you now, on pound cad.
What would be absolutely beautiful, right, for me right now is we get a pullback on the pound dollar, we get a pullback on the pound yen. It meets the lower levels, right? But because of the pound strength, we get a dollar weakness. Dollar pulls back to the 105. I'm looking at 08, maybe 10 level. Get in on a buy on the dollar yen. Get in two sales on the pound dollar and the pound yen. That's correlation, baby.
Oh yeah. Now, the risk there is if you got that wrong, you won't be saying that's correlation, baby. I feel like you'd have you'd probably same message. That's correlation, but a different tone.
Well, there's other levels. There's always other levels. I mean, if technically speaking, they all stopped out at the same time, that is still correlation. It's just not good for the old bank account, is it?
Mm. Well, yeah, I mean
You're
you're
always
right in
I'll
that
be
they're
extremely
moving
angry.
together.
I'll be extremely angry.
Just wrong as far as what direction. Now, pound CAD. Just looking at this 2 hour here, quick. Look at that, mate.
Oh,
Look at that.
pound yen just did a bearish.
Look at the support right here.
Mm.
It's a ton of support right there. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let me see pound yen again.
Pound yen has got a lovely engulfing, which I'm hoping is just a pullback.
Yeah, well, we
I
never
want it
did
to
break
keep
that
going long a
counter
bit.
trend line there, where it was.
Oh yeah.
You can see support, literally see it holding like right in front of us right now.
Mm.
We got 30 seconds left. A lot can happen in 30 seconds. Let's see. But so far, support is holding. Indicates that this has further room to keep rallying before we start selling. I do think it's going to start selling, but. Netchka says, what indicators do you use, and are indicators important for trading? So, great
Expert,
questions both. I'm going to do
expert
the
indicator.
second question first, though. Are indicators important for trading? What I teach you is that you need to learn to look at the charts naked first. You need to understand the markets naked first. And put a pin in that. I'll come back to the second part of that answer because we just got the close of the candle. We didn't break support, mate. We did not break support. Support is holding. I know that's a bearish candle. I know it looks good, but its support is holding. I don't trust it, man. I think this is going to come back. I think it's going to continue. Plus, there's one way to tell this, and that's going to be
Check the hour chart. I'll check the hour chart, mate. It's faster.
Oh, do you know what? It has.
Mate,
It actually
it,
has
we
pulled back to. It actually has closed beyond 50% of that move there. Ooh. That's very interesting. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna look to set up a scalp on this candle and just see where that leaves me. If I think there's enough room for it, then I might take it, but only if I can see there's enough room. Because there's the only reason I'm considering it is because we have that coupled with now a counter trend line break.
I think it's a fail. We're in a buy zone on the algo, and I think it's failed. We've had the pullback. It's now continued in the short trend for 15.
14295. I'm gonna go 14285. 14285. Ooh, wait a minute, Batman. 14234. Okay, dollar CAD's crossing up. So 14234 would be the target here. If I'm going 10 pips in front of that unfulfilled 38.2. So that's basically the maximum amount of room that I would consider myself having here, right? 142.
Having a stop order beyond 85, I would agree with. But that 79, 78 level, mate.
So there's 40 pips in risk if I do this. 143.25 and 142.94 is no wait. Sorry. Hang on. 143.25 and 142.85. Yeah, 40 pips in risk, which means I'd have to go for 60 at a minimum, which is 142.25, which is literally right in front of that. Right in front of that unfulfilled 382 there.
I reckon dollar's gonna pull back to the '09, right? Pound yen's gonna keep pulling back as well as the pound dollar. Then dollar yen's gonna get back in a continuation, go long. Rubik's cube's gonna do its thing. Pound yen will sell.
Mm.
Dollar yen will buy. That's what I'm hoping for. This is wishful thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I want it to do. Equally though, I have got a buy on the pound yen at 14263.
On pound yen.
Mm.
14263. There. Yeah, you see what I was saying before, mate. Look, I'm not trusting of this. I think there's still room for this to pull back.
I reckon you need to wait for that 20 level, mate.
Yeah. No, I agree. So that was a bit of a long-winded answer, Nejko, as to what's going on with the pound yen. But the answer is, who knows?
Nechko, what do you think from that assessment? How do you feel about that answer? Does that even help?
That's a great question.
We should get feedback from our viewers.
Agreed.
You didn't answer his question about indicators, though.
Yes. So the second part of the question, right. So the first part of the question, are indicators important for trading? The honest answer to that is they can be a big help. I don't rely on them in any way, shape, or form, like as a primary thing, right? But as an added sort of confirmation, or as an added layer to kind of make me think just that little bit extra about the trade before taking it, they're phenomenal, right? Um, Again, though, if you're just starting out trading, if you're a new trader, it is critically important that you learn on a naked chart first with no indicators at all. Because the last thing you want is to take the opposite approach and then suddenly become dependent on indicators, or accustomed to, you know, picking up strategies or acquiring strategies that are designed exclusively around indicators. So the problem with that is two things. Number one, indicators are lagging, right? All indicators are lagging indicators, meaning it follows behind price. And number two, you know, they're not they're not always accurate, right? This, and the conditions on the ground, as it were, um, obviously take priority. Now, the second part of that question, which indicators do I use? What you're seeing on the screen in front of you is a MACD, a stochastic RSI, and a series of 5 different T3 Tilsons, T3 averages. Um, just in terms of basic functionality, just so the viewers can kind of, um, or maybe this can help to help you guys understand a little bit better what we're talking about because we can kind of go fast sometimes. But this big yellow line right here basically breaks the market into a buy zone and sell zone. Right above it is buy, below it is a sell zone, and then all the other T3s are essentially additional levels of support and resistance. Right. Um, that's pretty much all the indicators I use. I don't really use. Oh, and then the little triangles you see appearing above and below certain candles, that's the fractal. So that's literally all that's doing is just identifying official highs and lows to make it easy on me. That's it, though. I don't use any other indicators. I stick to those indicators um, pretty much exclusively. I can't remember the last time I used another indicator. Unless I was looking at something for someone or answering a question or something. I can't remember the last time I've used another indicator for my own personal trading. Exactly, Netchko. Exactly. Yeah. So naked, learning the charts naked is, yeah, without any indicators or anything like that um, on the charts. You basically, get accustomed to the language of the market, which is of course your candlesticks, right? It's literally this is the language of the market. If you learn how to read these, you learn how to interpret the messages that the market's trying to send you. Simple as that. So I hope that helps. I hope that answered your question.
Hmm.
All the pounds are
Um.
doing exactly the same thing, mate, with exception to pound kiwi, maybe. Oh, and pound cad's doing
Um.
its own thing too.
So, what trades have you got on, mate? Because, are you,
Yeah. So
what's
at the
on?
moment, I am in currently on this dollar yen. I've also got an active. Hold on. Dollar CAD, which is just here. I've got an active Kiwi dollar, which is just here. That's that current trade. And as far as Kiwi dollar is concerned, I fully anticipated and expected, without any surprise at all, the market to come back and test this trend line again. Right? I mean, it's just like I said it. Even when I got in this morning, and I, sat down to look at all my trades and do some trade management, came across Kiwi dollar. I said, right, there's nothing I'm going to do. It's going to pull back and it's going to come back and test that trend line. And we were, this was earlier this morning, so this was, somewhere in here, say. So I said, it's going to pull back. I'm going to end up going negative on this. I was up at the time. Going to end up going negative on this, but I know it's a temporary thing. So I literally did nothing on this. Actually, no, tell a lie. I did. You can see that I did move the stop down following these highs here, but that's it. I still got plenty of risk on this, and I still trust it. I still trust the trade. I have no reason to not trust this trade. This is the trend line right here, and you can see my hand drawn trend line is tracking almost perfectly with the automated trend line, right? And so as long as we're below it, this is still resistance, and it proved that by leaving behind this shooting star here. So yeah, I've got no worries whatsoever on Kiwi dollar. This is one of my current trades, and on the 2 hour time frame, if you look, what I'm actually trading here is we were up at resistance, right? And so what I'm actually trading, it was actually back here where I got in. So trading resistance, I'm literally selling resistance, selling it back down to support. That's the goal. And I have no doubt that that'll likely happen. Now, on the 2 hour time frame, we do have a spinning top at the moment. This is a spinning top right here. Right? Rich's favorite. Right, Rich?
Doji.
Spinning top.
You mean Doji?
You're a big doji.
uh,
So that's my spinning top. So basically, whenever we see a spinning top occurring, that essentially gives us a range, right? A boundary of support and resistance. So basically, at this point, I'm just anticipating that the market is likely to kind of hang out inside of this range. So I wouldn't anticipate any big moves in one way or another as long as we remain inside of this range. So, I'm happy with this. I think this is fine. I don't see anything wrong with this trade, but I am anticipating that it's just going to be sideways for a while. So I may end up closing. We'll see how this is tomorrow. But obviously, as tomorrow's Friday, I may end up either closing or moving the stop to beyond the break-even point as we head into the weekend, just so that I've got no worries over the weekend. But I'll leave it to still, give it a chance to do its thing in the event that it is going to do its thing. You know what I mean?
well, I know it's not a currency that's directly affected, but there's a lot of news in the next 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
for pound. A lot of serious news that
Let's
will
have a look at
affect
that, actually.
retail.
Let's
It
bring
will
that up.
affect retail traders. We've got monetary policy, official bank rates, BOE, etc. So, would you leave that open until tomorrow, knowing that that's coming out just now, even though it's the Kiwi dollar?
Yes. Oops, hang on. Right. What's happening? What's coming up? Yeah. So we have the bank rate. Likely no change there. So no surprise there. Yeah, I mean, I don't see this as being. I mean, this is important news. This is um,
This will
consequential
affect
news.
retail traders, but
I don't see this as pushing. I don't see this as having, you know, gargantuan impact unless something drastic is going on, and they're planning on something drastic that none of us know about, or they're looking at economic figures that none of us know about. Nothing is really a surprise at the moment, right? Global economy's pretty rocky. Um, you know, not really surprised. So I don't think, yeah, Kiwi dollar wouldn't really be directly affected by that anyway, and I don't particularly see any reason to do anything for that, man. Honestly, if anything, it would explain why pound is going to just kind of go range bound for a little bit now.
yeah, I think it's
Um,
the calm before the storm. But yeah, the only reason why I asked that question, because I'm setting my next point up really, is what's good about the swing style strategy that you tend to employ intraday, and the top down analysis on the course is it can survive
yeah,
the news
yeah,
a lot better
absolutely.
than the strategies that I've learned and been used to from a resistance and support perspective, with shorter stop losses and take profits at 10, 15, and 20. Um, you know, so I was just interested because obviously it's the pound, it's not quite the New Zealand dollar. Obviously, they're all affected in some way, but given the fact that that trades a little bit sideways, but there's no reason to get out. However, there's some serious news coming out. I thought it'd be quite good to hear for everyone to hear that,
Yeah.
what you would do with that trade. Because a lot of people be thinking, oh, I'm a retail trader, I better get out. When in actual fact, in the context of that currency, in the context of that strategy, you don't have to, right?
Well, here's the thing. So with what I teach, with the way I teach, right, my approach to markets trading, um, it's all about the technicals, right? Technicals are king. It's the technicals that drive the market, not the fundamentals. The fundamentals exist to kind of turbocharge those technicals. So the point there is that if you've done your analysis thoroughly and you've done your analysis correctly, and your trade is in line with the trend, you should have absolutely nothing to worry about. Or not so much in line with the trend, but at least pointing toward a substantial target, right? So what I mean by that is, like, for example, a 382. If we have an unfulfilled 382 and I'm looking to sell, well, overall we're in the uptrend, right? So my trade isn't technically with the trend overall, but I'm with the smaller trend, right? I'm with the prevailing trend at the time, which is the market chasing after that 38.2. You know what I mean? Um, and so, if you've done your analysis thoroughly and you've done it correctly, and your trade is in line with the prevailing trend of the time, you should have nothing to worry about, because the fundamentals come out, and what they tend to do is just push the market. It's very rare.
Like wind in the sails.
That's it, exactly right. Like wind in the sails. It doesn't change the direction of the sails. It just puts the wind behind it. You know what I mean? Um, the direction of the sails are already sort of determined by the technicals.
Interesting, Matt. Hopefully, all of our viewers got a lot out of that.
I hope so. I hope so.
Like I've kind of got nothing going on, to be honest.
Yeah, we're entering into a little bit of a period now where this is kind of typical for this time of morning anyway. Things kind of start to die down a little bit around this time where they can. Pound yen, though. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna set pound yen up because it's a pending order that I'm using there. I'm putting a stop
That's
there,
your
not
that's your
anything
counter
else. I think I'm gonna
counter
set it up
trend,
though,
right?
so that in the event it does do something here, I can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Why not? Right? 40 pips in risk. Oh, I outlined this already. Yeah. So 142.34 would be the target. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna set this up, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and place an entry sell stop on this. 143.25 for a potential stop loss. One. Hold on, I've got to do that again. Lost it. 42.85. Okay, so it's going to be 25 actually is the target, not 34. 25. 142.25. Target.
Yeah, I was looking at that thinking, what's going on here?
Okay, so
40
that's
for 60, isn't it, mate?
what? Yeah, 60 pips in this. 143.25. 142.25 for the target. Okay, and this is a strategy 4, counter trend line break. Strategy 1, candlestick formation, and that's it. No, it's also a strategy 3. It's a B fade, technically. B fade scalper as well. Entry sell stop. All right, 142.85. Okay, so that's done. I've gone ahead and placed that. And like I say, it's not because I've not placed that because I think this is the best trade that I've ever the best trade setup I've ever seen in my life. I've placed it because in the off chance that pound yen does surprise us and give us a nice big move on the back of that news, and it is in the direction of the technicals, then I can pick it up, right?
Like, can I ask you to have a look at, if you're done,
Yeah.
Euro Aussie?
Yeah, sure.
the euro to the Oz, because I would like that 61 level. I would like it a lot.
61.
Mm,
Well, I can't give that to you, mate. As much as
so
I'd like to, if I could give you 61, I would give you 61, Rich.
I know it is far away, but I just want to see what the overall assessment is. 'Cause I
So
don't think we've looked at this morning.
this is actually quite groovy because we're looking at an 86% pullback. This is what I call a blackjack, right? Um, for a buy. Now, that's on the 15. Let me go up before I say anything. Let me go up to the larger time frames here.
Mm, yeah, where have I got it actually? Yeah, so I'm overall
Oh, yeah.
bullish.
So, this is interesting. This is very interesting. We're just from a pure
But
market mechanics perspective, right? So, as I'm starting to put my actual technical analysis on here, before I get into anything, this is just a basic market principle. It's due for a pullback. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. Right? That's everybody knows that, right? It's day one stuff. Um, Now we're going to go into the analysis, though. Knowing that sort of baseline, and it's up to the analysis to either prove or disprove that, or determine, the when and the how. Um, that's my low of the trend right there. So I'm going to want to connect it's going to be this cluster of highs right in here from the look of it. No, this one.
that one, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that, Richard.
Mm.
Mate. You don't know this, folks, but Rich is actually really excited right now.
I
Aren't you,
would
mate?
be if we'd have spotted it 10 minutes ago and you took a 15 for 15 off it.
I'm going to take a
Uh,
150 now just to show you.
mm.
What's this? Right, so let's come in with the fibs. Oops. Okay. No, I just want to see that's not the end of the impulse there.
Is that 23?
Hmm. Right, okay. All right, so let's have a look. It's 23.6. Yeah, so the problem is we've got a target down at 38.75. So that means I got to go up. I got to go up a time frame again. Right. What are you doing, Euro Aussie? Let's figure you out. Right. You gave me a good one, mate. Trying to throw me curveballs here.
Yeah, it's horrible, really. But interesting to see what you think, mate.
Hmm.
Is it that low there?
Look at that.
It makes it.
So just to illustrate the point, okay? I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be the best illustration for this or not because I don't know, if this
Well, that was
definitely was
crazy news,
around
wasn't it?
news. Although I can tell you, no, it was around news. Look, it's March 2020. There was nothing happening in March of 2020, was there? No 100-year global pandemic or anything like that, right? No.
No, no.
Okay, so but here you go. Just to put this in perspective for you, right? What I said earlier, the fundamentals kind of turbocharge the technicals, and then as long as you've done your analysis thoroughly and correctly, you should be all right, mate. This was a 23.6%, which means I would be targeting 7,600, and this thing just absolutely blew right through that. Now, to the untrained eye, there's no explanation for this, right? Oh, this must have been news or something. Yeah, okay, it probably was news that turbocharged it, but it's in the direction of the technicals. It was written in, mate. Like, this was already written into the stars. You know what I mean? And a technical trader would have already seen this and could have made a ton of money on that move. Anyway, that is a completed fib now. So let's see. Nope, it's going to be this one.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. So interestingly, this has got, we're sitting at a 61.8 currently. It's a pretty decent level of support as well. However, there's a good chance this continues like so back to the trend line. You see how we've been kind of away from that trend line for a while, and I can almost guarantee we've broken one, an inner one from here. Take it from here. That's the secondary. There's the innermost right there. So you got innermost, secondary, tertiary trend lines. It's broken the innermost, which means it's making its way to the secondary, right? And then from there, if it breaks that, if that holds, groovy. I'm starting to go bullish again, right? And at that point, that would be a 69.4. I would target 225.14, as outlandish as it sounds. Right? That would be my target. So it's all going to come down to what happens at support right here, by way of that trend line. Let's see something here, right? So that's a daily. 2 hour is down and pointing down, 38.75. So let me see that level on here. 38.75. Jeez. So that's, look at that. So the 2 hour, okay, watch this, mate. The 2 hour is basically giving me a projection that this is more likely than not to break through this level as well and actually come to here for the bounce rather than here. I'm getting that off the 2 hour. Reason for that is because that target on the 2 hour time frame is 38.75. 38.75 is in here. See that? And it's a bit far away. It's a bit far away though. So that's the only thing. And given that this is a max 23.6, obviously there's a chance this comes back in. But we won't be able to say that this is on its way back into the AB boundary until it's broken back inside, back beyond that B low at 68.85. 68.85. Which is again obviously pretty good ways off there. This is terrible, this one. I don't like your Aussie very much for what it's doing at the moment. But I'll tell you this. So if I had to kind of give you a definitive, like, all right, Chris, what is it? Make up your mind, right? Short term, medium term, long term. Long term bullish. Medium term bearish.
Mm-hmm.
Short-term bullish. Short-term bullish because we may very well get a push here. We're at a pretty decent level. That's an 86%. May very well get a push here. I'm actually getting a buy signal. Actually, hang on. Piercing line, and we're just about to get a signal. So, mate, this is actually a trade. This isn't a. It's actually a trade right here. So, 25 would be the entry, 10 pips above, and then 56.95 would be the stop, 10 pips below that low. Just there. It's 30 in risk, 45 in reward. It's 57.70. Ooh. I like this. I kind of like this.
Well, you've got the signal on the stock and the MACD. You're in the buy zone. That 5,720. It's an okay level. Not great, mate. I mean, it's some kind of level, but it's not something that I would go long off. But you do have your little fancy trend line from heaven. Um,
Is that what we're calling it now, mate? It's my trend line from
well,
heaven.
it's traveled from a year ago. Come out of nowhere.
56.95. This is what that trade looks like on the larger time frame. 57.70 would be the target. It's not bad, mate. It's not bad at all. Stochastic RSI is totally oversold here as well. MACD is in the buy zone on the 2-hour. I like it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to set up the pending order. Right, bear with me. This was, what did I say, 40 pips in risk? Yeah. Oh, no, 30 pips in risk. 30.
Very mate. It has scored a goal for me on a bearish fib. It's hit the 123 from the top, from the previous high.
So what, you're in agreement with buying here?
Well, all I'm saying is that it's completed a bearish move, which would suggest
Yeah.
where's next, you know.
Yeah.
And it is on a bullish 38.20.
So this is strategy 1, candlestick scalping. You can technically call this a strategy 2 as well, because on the 15-minute, this is a C to D completion play. It's an 86% pullback. So actually, there's two opportunities here, potential opportunities. One is to get in same price, but put the stop 10 pips below the A, and then go 10 pips in front of the 118. I'm not trusting of this enough though for that. I think
Mate,
that's
I
way
feel
too big
like
of a call for right now. So what I'm going to do instead, the 118 is the target until the market tells me otherwise. But I'm going to look for the trades that occur, between now and then, rather than one big one. You know what I mean? For me, 57.20. It's got to break 57.20, and then I've got my pending there at 25. So, but it's got to break 57.20 for this to mean anything for me. For me to really get excited about this. But I'm going to set it up anyway, so that again, if it takes, then great.
yeah, I agree with stop order.
725. Right. So strategy 1, candlestick formation. Strategy 2, C to D completion. Strategy 4, counter trend line. And it's a strategy 6 as well. So
Where are
4
you
out of
taking it up to? 570?
5. Yeah,
770?
57.70.
I would be getting out at 61, man. I'd be,
61.
I would set a little alarm for yourself for 61. I think, well, 57.70 is actually the 50 bullish fib. You know, if it starts to go long again from here, I see 61 is the 1 hour level short in the short term,
61.
which I would actually get in at. I would be getting in at that. I'd be selling at 61.
Okay, so let me see here. 61.
So that stop order, to be fair, your 5770 is at that base of support there.
Mm-hmm.
61 is that would be the 1 hour trend. You'd be starting to book the short term trend being sold. So I don't know. It's only 10 pips off, 9 pips off the
Mm-hmm.
TP.
I like this as well because it'll serve as a counter to my euro dollar wall because I'm fully expecting euro dollar to pull against me at some point. Right? We've just hit that D. It's got to pull again. This is by buying this because I'm selling euro dollar. By buying euro Aussie, I'm effectively hedging, just using
Yeah.
different currencies to do it.
Well, everything's lined up, mate. And I think the stop is a sensible way of doing this.
Yeah.
I would need to see travel. And we're in the buy zone on the Euro Aussie. We've got a second level buy zone. It's just, and we've just scored a goal on a fib.
Euro Kiwi looks pretty good too, actually. Let's have a look. At least at first glance.
Pound yen looks like it's coming up.
Oh, there you go. Euro Aussie taking me in already. Just like that.
And we've got 3 bullish as well, which is good. So, euro dollar, you're in on euro dollar and we want it to continue short, yeah?
Yeah.
Ideally, euro dollar can sustain itself within the trade, euro on the pullback, carries on short again. Aussie dollar's doing nothing.
Yep. As usual.
Yeah.
Aussie dollar. Right. Let's come up with some fibs from the high. Impulse. Come on. There we go. 5-0 to the 1618. Just there. And then 61.8. And we've got a 1618 down there. 167.71.
Hmm.
And there's the hit fulfillment right there. Now I've got a 69.4. Ooh.
Oh, dollar yen. Just pop that mountain top.
Did it?
Yeah. Long.
Oh yeah, 502.24 we're at now. Nice. Oh, mate,
Oh no,
that'll probably hit
no,
my target today. Dollar yen.
not yet. It's not. Sorry,
I'd be surprised if it
my
didn't.
chart's lagging. It's but it's got clear roads though on the Fib matrix.
Is your chart lagging? Are you lying to me?
My chart was lagging. Yeah, reading old data. Nichko, if you're listening, old data on an indicator. It causes issues, man.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that counter trend line break right there. That's good. This is probably gonna make a play for that trend line off of this engulfing bull right here.
Oh, you got a nice signal there at the bottom. Is that why you started looking at it?
Yes, but also because of Euro Aussie. 6672. Well, I'm 6 pips off entry, or off the ideal entry already anyway. 6628 would be the stop. $44 in risk, so 66 in reward. So 67.38. Just there, 67.38. Yeah, I think it's gonna go.
Go for it.
I do think it's gonna go. 67.38. I'm 7 pips off of my ideal entry though. That's not ideal.
Mate, that could always pull back.
Yeah, either that or this is literally
you
the
jump in
train
there.
tooting its horn about to leave the station. That's a possibility too here.
How much exposure have you got right now?
Tell you now. All right, so currently open. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on. Do it again. Currently open. It just 0.6 at the moment.
Okay.
Across everything.
0.6. What's the max one?
Don't even know. We'll have to. We gotta look at that later.
I think
I'm not near it though. I know that much. I'm not near it. Euro yen's giving a nice little morning star there. Look at that. Really nice morning star.
That euro yen wants to come up as well.
Say again.
You're gonna check out the Langle on the old euro yen.
gotta check out the Langle, mate. Let's have a look at the Langle. Tell you what though, Euro yen could do with a Euro yen could do with a cleanup. So let's do it.
Good that you can find opportunities in a market like just now, mate.
Absolutely. Well, you know, if you're only tracking majors, then what do you do when the market's just dead and the majors aren't doing anything? You know what I mean? Look at this. Anytime the market breaks one, what does it do, Rich? Anytime it breaks one trend line, what does it do?
Breaks another. Travels to the next.
Travels to the next one. And it's exactly, and I mean exactly what's happened with Euro JPY, right? So here are the fibs for Euro JPY coming at you. So there's my first impulse back to a 78.6. So 126.51 is the price to beat. And there it goes, 126.51. Magnet tool can be a little bit funny sometimes. There we go. Okay. 23.6. Oh yeah, look at this. So this came back. So this is a prime example, right? This started out as a super shallow, what we call in the Ultimate Forex Trading Course, super shallow one toe in the water retracement. It then left the AB boundary and came right back in and came back to the 382, transitioning it from a super shallow one toe to now it's a double dipper. Okay. Double dipper is certainly more reliable than a one toe, and the fact that we're getting the formation that we've got here and the push that we're getting here is a good sign. So I do think there's still room for this to come down to the trend line. So there's there is the danger there. But that's a Morningstar, mate, right there. That is a beautiful textbook. I mean, if we're writing the textbook and you say, Chris, go find a graphic to use for Morningstar, it's that one right there. That's perfect, right?
Where would your stop be though if it's a fairly decent amount below the?
So if it ends up below that trend line, I'm happy. But at this point, it looks like it's going to be 12600. Yeah, so that's actually all right. Still gives it room. 21 is going to be 31. So the other nice thing about my approach is that I'm giving it room in both directions, right? So before the market's even got a chance to take me in, I'm giving it room to figure out what it wants to do. You know what I mean? 31 pips in risk, obviously, so I need to go for a minimum of 46. So that's going to put me at 77, 126.77. Just there.
It's got some stuff to do to get there.
It's not bad though. It's not. I don't think it's bad. Let's have a look. It's not a bad looking opportunity. I'll tell you that. Let's go to the 2 hour. There's scope for a buy 2 hour MACD. Not as much, in fact, no, there's no scope for a buy on the stochastic right now because we're sitting at 45, which is, I like to call no man's land. So neither the buy zone nor the sell zone. But I feel like this is being pushed by the euro, by the bit of euro bullishness we're seeing at the moment. So this might have enough in it to take it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go ahead and set this up. I like the look of it. Let me go ahead and set this up. Take something off.
Well, there is yen weakness as well, bear in mind. Dollar's long at the moment against the yen.
Yes.
Euro's down at the moment against the dollar.
This was 31, wasn't it? Yeah. 31.
Euro it's coming back up. It's coming back up a little bit now.
Why can't I find Euro JPY? Where the hell's my Euro JPY?
It's actually about four away from taking you in here, mate. 3, 4.
I know, and I'm missing my friggin' Euro JPY for some reason.
You click the minor button.
Ah, found it. There we go. It's there. Don't worry, Rich, it's there.
Euro Aussie, it's got an interesting hour candle formation, which I think you'd probably take a picture of it and take it on.
What did you say?
I'll get a screenshot for your WhatsApp, mate. Your new WhatsApp profile picture.
Alright, so I've gone ahead and set this up. This is a pending buy on Euro JPY. 126.31 is where I'm looking to get in. Got to stop it. It's sitting at 126.00. This is textbook Morningstar right there that I'm looking to trade. And of course, I'm going for a 1 to 1.5 triple R risk to reward ratio, which is my standard, right? It's kind of like my minimum to go for. Things are going pretty well at the moment, mate, actually. Dollar yen's about to hit my side. We're within striking distance now. We're within 10 pips of the profit target. Not bad at all, I'll tell you that much. Not bad at all.
Yeah, lovely that, mate. I think the dollar yen can be tricky to trade because it's a strange move. It does nothing, then steamrolls, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
I got all kinds of green lighting up at me on my screen because I've got dollar yen about to hit its target. Oh, and by the way, at this point, I've also, so just because I want to go back in a bit and have a look at the exposure, like I said, I've taken off the risk on dollar yen. So I've moved the stop to break even +5, which is going to put me at 104.07. I mean, 105.07. 105.07. So now that is break even +5. I now have 0 risk on this trade, so it cost me nothing to leave it alone from this point. So I should, right?
Good, mate. I see it get into that 38 as well.
I do.
I've actually got a pending sell.
At the 38?
37, yeah.
Yeah, man, I can definitely see getting that. And like I say, I've taken the risk off now, so this is a completely risk-free trade at this point. I love when we get to that stage of the trade. It's my fave. Dollar CAD's looking nice as well. Still, son of a gun though, still not giving me it is still not giving me justification to trade manage, man. There's nothing I can do there. Gotta just leave it. Nothing I can do. Because that low is 27.77. I'm already 10 pips below it. So when it came back, it just tested the same level. So unfortunately, and I can't use that low, it's too close. 1, 2 lows. It's this one. So I just gotta leave that one alone. Aussie dollar. You coming to the party or what? I've got the pending order set at 76.16 for Aussie dollar. Still trying to figure out what the hell it wants to do, but it's so far resistance is held, and this little move right in here, this is what I'm actually tracking in here, what I'm banking on for this trade, really. Because if you look at the move in here, come on, there we go, 61.8. So yeah, 76.02 is the target there.
Yep. Which ain't too far, man.
No, it's not. It's not.
But so your stop entry is 16.
Yeah, which is
For a
actually
target
2
of 02.
pips above my threshold, my support threshold, which is a little bit risky, a little bit on the risky side, but I have confidence that it will beat it. or is likely to beat
take
it.
profit at 02?
No, God no. 7568 is my profit target on that. No, to 7602 is just that little sub D extension right there.
Right, yeah.
And if you look, it makes sense really, because look at the support right there. Look at that. Look at all that support in there. So literally, that would be the next level it would go after. So it has to beat 7614. If it does, I suspect it's got plenty of scope down to 7602. If it breaks that, I should be green lit all the way if it does that.
7590 is 7590 and 7565 are my daily lows for support.
Yeah, 7590, if you look on my screen, it lines up perfectly with the bottom of that channel, the bottom of that downward channel.
Okay.
And then what was the other one you said? 65 was it? Did you say?
7565, yeah.
65. Yeah, so that's just beyond my target. So if we can break 90,
yeah,
and if we can break, so the keys for me here are 14 as a key level to break, as the first key level to break. That'll actually take me into the trade. 7602 is the next test. If we manage to break that, then we've got 7590 as the final test. If we manage to break all three, it's smooth sailing all the way through.
Yeah, so if you can get a sustained break below 6.5, it'll probably carry on another 100 pips.
Yeah,
it risks that going the distance, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Baron, hello, Baron. Baron says hello. Can you guys look at Euro US dollar? Baron, are you still with us, mate? Euro US dollar. I'm actually in a Euro US dollar trade currently. And the trade is actually from the 2 hour. So let me go to the 2 hours to show you this. So this is my trade from this morning. I placed it this morning. I traded the evening star here. It's broken really, but broken up, but it is an evening star, and it's a couple of different formations within. So, you know, all told, this is an evening star, but within it, we also have a dark cloud cover right there. And you can see the subsequent fall. You know, all of that occurred right at resistance there. It's like a cluster of resistance. I mean, it was just ripe for selling, and so I did. I sold at 2008. I sold. Right now, at the moment, it's come back for the test, but so far it still looks a-okay for myself because the test is failing. So
that's lovely, man.
No worries at all here, man.
I like that.
No worries at all. No worries, mate. Dollar yen. Oh, look at that. It's going, man. It's going. Wants to. Oh, it wants to. 1964, 1977, 1964. There is some strong support on the euro dollar. 1975, 1964 on the euro dollar. I've got a pretty decent level of support around that price. Say the price again. 1964, did you say?
75 to 64, yeah. So sort of a 10 pip area. There'll be a good bounce off of that, I reckon. That's a bullish 50 fib for me, as well as a 4-column roadblock on the algo.
Is it?
So it's dark band shade level 3, so that's a tough area of support.
Yeah, so what I'll do is
Probably
I'll set
over that.
alerts and look to trade manage around this zone here. My target, I'm looking to take this down to 33. I could even scale out at that level, to be honest, depending on what the market does once we get down there. You know what I mean? So I hope that helped, Baron. If you're still with us, I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question. I'm not sure if you're still with us or not.
What was the question?
I just wanted
What do we think?
I just wanted us to have a look at euro dollar. So long term, if I just go here quickly. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. Bigger picture on euro US dollar. You can see it's huge level of resistance we're at here, really, on this daily time frame. Down fib as well, and then on the 2 hour, this is the 2 hour time frame right here. We have an unfulfilled 38.2% to the downside. So Baron, if you're still with us, I'm looking to trade this all the way down bearish, continue trading this all the way down to 17.55 ultimately. Again, as I've said, earlier in the show, and as I've said before, that doesn't mean that I'm identifying one trade and I'm going to take one big trade between now and then. It just means that's my target, so I'm going to look for trades that go in line with that target and that take me to that target. You know what I mean? Yeah, so long-term bullish, short-term bearish, medium-term bearish on euro US dollar.
Okay. This euro dollar. This is a trade for me. This is a 20 for 20 bounce. What I'm trying to decide between 1975 and 1965, to be fair.
Look what we've got there, Rich. What do we got? Tell our viewers, what is this?
It's an evening star. I was trying to look for a third bullish candle for a counter trend line break, but there isn't one.
I was trying to throw you hints, mate.
No, I knew what it was.
I
was testing the silence, man.
I was about to send you this.
I wanted to see what the silence would yield.
I was about to start doing this, helping you out. give you a lifeline there. Yeah, absolutely right. It's an evening star. We actually do have a counter trend line break there too, mate. Because you do have. Remember, when I say that you need 3 counter candles. So if we're in a downtrend, you need 3 bullish candles. If we're in an uptrend, you need 3 bearish candles. They don't have. That doesn't mean consecutive candles, right? They can be non-consecutive like this. In this case, we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as when you draw in your trend line, you actually get some semblance of a trend angle, and not a horizontal line, it still counts.
Yeah. And you get the 3 touches.
Yeah.
Let's call it that. My eyes are burning. My eyes need a rest from the old screenage. There's anyone tuning in that doesn't trade, or if you're watching this from sometime in the future, that's why you only trade for about 2-3 hours a day, really. The rest of the time, if you get in any trades, you then manage and just check your phone or something. or the computer if you're in and around it.
Exactly.
Because it's mentally tiring.
Yeah, and by hanging out in front of the charts all day long, you can actually do a disservice to yourself, because it can lead to what's called analysis paralysis, where it's information overload. You know what I mean? You got to realize, you're processing all that stuff. All that data that you're looking at, your brain is processing that. And because we're sentient beings, it's just a second nature thing, but it is calorific, as you would say.
Calorific, man.
Because you are burning energy. You are doing some processing. Anyway, with that being said, everybody, let's go ahead and call it here. It's been a great session this morning. Thank you so much to all of you who have joined us, all of you, those of you who have asked questions. We really appreciate it. We love interacting with you guys and talking with you guys. It helps to make this show fun. If you like what you see here, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss any of our videos or our live sessions. We go live Monday through Thursday, Rich and I. So this is the last time for this week. But we go live Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 11 a.m. GMT for the Forex Trading Lounge, which is what you've just been watching. So once again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I hope you found it fun and enjoyable and informative. Rich, as always, mate, it's been a pleasure. It's been a great week.
It's been brilliant.
What a trading week, man. It's been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun as well along the way.
Week.
So thank you.
Literally the perfect trading week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, and thanks for the questions. I didn't quite realize how good it would be having the opportunity to actually answer them. So do use us whenever we've got like a spare moment. We'll make time for questions. But don't hesitate to reach out, man. Say your piece.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how you get the most out of these sessions, and that's how we can deliver the most as well. So it's a win-win for everybody. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Rich. Have a great weekend, mate. And
You too,
we will see you all Monday morning. Until then, to your health, wealth, and happiness always. Chris Guzman and Rich Hooper.
Rich Hooper, man.
Signing out, saying good day. Take care, guys. See you Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dolly and Nate.